Direct from Citizen Kelly Tower in Chicago, it's the Citizen Kelly Show with William J. Kelly. And now, the king of controversy himself, Citizen Kelly.
Welcome, 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 my fellow citizens, to the Citizen Kelly Show. I'm Citizen Kelly, and I am truly happy, thankful, full of love and enthusiasm. And I can honestly say that, despite the fact that things don't always go our way, right?
Right.
G-Law?
Yes,
Thank you
that's
for
true.
being here. Thank you for always being here.
Oh, you're welcome.
Things don't always go our way. In fact, I would go so far as to say, as a Irish Catholic conservative in the city of Chicago, things never go our way. They never go our way. And yet I am still happy, thankful, full of love and enthusiasm. Do you see what I'm saying?
I do. I
See,
do.
God has a plan. And he knew that in order to prepare William J. Kelly, my old slave name, right, to be Citizen Kelly, to actually save Western Christian civilization, he knew that he had to test me. You see what I'm saying?
I do. I do.
So he thought, how can I test William Kelly? How can I put him to the test? How can I make William Kelly like the modern day Job? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And he said, I know, I will place him at the place of his birth, the south side of Chicago. Do you see what I'm saying?
I do.
So, yes, I have been tested. Thank you, Lord. Thank you for giving me this glorious quest. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yes.
Thank you for testing me and testing me and testing me. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Lord, because I am ready. I am absolutely ready. And I'm so thankful that I lived to see this day, to see Brett Kavanaugh confirmed to the U.S. Supreme Court, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you might be asking yourself, Citizen Kelly, why is this a thing for you? Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Up until 3 or 4 months ago, you never even heard the name Brett Kavanaugh. Why is this a thing for you? You know? Like,
Yes.
why is Conor McGregor a thing for you? You never met Conor McGregor. Yeah, it's true. Never met Conor McGregor, and yet I'm rooting for him. Okay? He's a fan favorite. Get over it. You know what I'm saying?
I do.
But here's the bottom line. When I saw those filthy vermin Democrat scum, okay? The godless, flag-burning Democrats, right? Just to be, I just want to make sure, I just want to put this in, it's like maybe not Beltway lingo, not beyond the Beltway lingo. It's more like below the Beltway lingo, okay?
Yeah.
Godless, flag-burning Democrat scum. That's what I saw on TV. You know what I mean?
I do.
G-Law, can I be completely honest here?
You can be
Well,
honest. Sure.
I'm not 100% sure if that's a good idea, but I'm going to try. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it.
You are who you are.
There are many, many moments that have made an impact on me in my life, right?
Yes.
And a few of them actually involved live television. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
And I can tell you right now, as an Irish Catholic who grew up on the south side of Chicago, one of those moments were the LA riots.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Yeah.
When I turned on the TV, and it was just random, it was just chance. You know what I mean? I turned on the TV and I saw that truck driver get pulled out of his truck. And
Is it Reginald Denny?
Reginald Denny pulled out of his truck and hit in the head with a cinder block, right?
Right.
That made an impression on me.
Yeah.
Because as an Irish Catholic growing up on the south side of Chicago, there was not a single day went by in my entire life that I did not have to fear that I or someone that I loved, my mother, my father, someone that I loved, would be pulled out of their car and beaten to death. There was not a single day went by. And you see a lot of people who talk about race in America, they don't understand that. You know what I mean? They don't understand what it's like to grow up in the parallel universe that is the south side of Chicago. Do you know what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
So that left a little bit of an impression on me. I have to say, okay? Because
Right.
when I saw Reginald Denny being pulled out of that truck and beaten with a cinder block, I thought that could be me. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right.
That um that was a relatable. You know what I mean?
A relatable
It
incident.
was a relatable incident, G
Right.
Law.
Right.
Well, when I just happened to turn on the TV and see Judge Brett Kavanaugh being grilled by our U.S. Senator Dick Durbin, right?
Yes.
Who I know. I know more about Dick Durbin than the average person in the United States of America, or even in Illinois for that matter. And we are going to be calling for a federal investigation into Dick Durbin. Do you understand?
Yes.
We're going to expose Dick Durbin. We're going to expose him. It's personal. If it wasn't personal before, it's personal now. You know why? Because when I turned on the TV and I saw our U.S. Senator Dick Durbin accusing Brett Kavanaugh of being the leader of a teenage Irish Catholic rape gang, I felt the exact same feeling in my heart and in my chest and in my soul and in my psyche that I did when I saw Reginald Denny being pulled out of that truck. It was the exact same thing. You know why? Because I saw in Brett Kavanaugh, a man that up until a few months ago, I had never even heard his name before. I had no knowledge of Brett Kavanaugh. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
But in that moment, I saw, I related. I said, that could be me. If they can, and by the way, if they can do that to Brett Kavanaugh, a man who has a stellar personal and professional reputation, who has been appointed by the President of the United States and the full backing of the President of the United States, you better believe that Dick Durbin can do that to you, to me, to any of my fellow citizens. If you think that they can't do that to you because you've led an impeccable life, look no further than Brett Kavanaugh. Here is a man who has led an impeccable life. And this is not partisan speaking points, by the way. This is the FBI has investigated.
7 background checks now.
Right.
Yeah.
The FBI, 7 background checks. And you know that was nothing compared to what the Democrat smear merchants have been trying to dig up on Brett Kavanaugh for the last,
since the Ken Starr investigation.
Exactly right.
Since he was appointed to the D.C. Court of Appeals.
Exactly.
Since he was appointed by George W. Bush.
So when I saw our U.S. Senator Dick Durbin smearing Brett Kavanaugh, right? Accusing him of being the leader of a teenage Irish Catholic rape gang, right?
Yes.
I knew that could be me. That could be you. That could be any one of my fellow citizens. Do you see what I'm saying?
I do.
And I had the same feeling in my heart, in my soul, in my psyche that I had the day I saw Reginald Denny pulled out of that truck. That could be me. And I took that personally. And I took my media credential, my City of Chicago media credential, to the City Club of Chicago, because once again, it can only be God's plan. Who was speaking at the City Club the following Monday?
Who?
Our U.S. Senator Dick Durbin.
Wow.
So they didn't want me to ask a question. They actually tried to prevent me from entering the room, right?
Mm-hmm.
The press conference room. But I had a media credential.
Right.
So they still tried to prevent me from entering the room. But with my knowledge of restaurants, which with my vast knowledge of numbers, details, neuroscience, and restaurants, I knew that restaurants typically have doors, multiple doors. Do you know what I'm saying?
I do.
So they could put their goon in front of the main door. But as somebody who has a knowledge of restaurants, I know that there are people called waiters. And you know what waiters do? They are endlessly entering and exiting multiple doors with hot plates and dirty plates and coffee, coffee
servers.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I just thought to myself, you know what? I got an idea. I'll just find another door. You see? And that's what God did. That's what God did. By testing me, by endlessly testing me, by endlessly putting me in situations where people were discriminating against me. Okay?
Right.
When people say, do you know what it's like to be discriminated against? Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Right.
Okay? Yes, I do.
Right.
So because God has put me in all of those situations, I said, I know. One door closes, another door opens. Am I being philosophical? No, I'm not. I'm just telling you what I did at Mangiano's restaurant. I walked in through another door and I asked Dick Durbin, you want a federal investigation, an FBI investigation into Judge Kavanaugh. Why won't you call for a federal criminal investigation into the Chicago public school rape and sex abuse scandal? And you know what? He didn't answer me. So I asked him, Senator, do you not care about the children of the Chicago public schools? Do you not believe the children of the Chicago public schools? He still would not answer me. Okay? Thankfully, we have it on tape. We have videotape of this, and we're going to play some clips during the show today. We've got a massive show today, by the way. We're going to talk about all the headlines, okay? And obviously Judge Kavanaugh's confirmation, right? Judge Kavanaugh, he is now the 114th U.S. Supreme Court Justice.
Wow.
Just
think about it.
Just to put that in perspective, there have only been 14 judges in the history of American Idol.
Oh, wow.
So,
that's a lot.
Kavanaugh is known as a fierce defender of the Constitution, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or as the Democrats call him, a dangerous extremist. You know what I'm saying?
I do.
Last night at the White House, President Trump held a ceremonial swearing in for Justice Brett Kavanaugh. Meanwhile, the Democrats held a ceremonial meltdown.
They did indeed.
It was a meltdown. Let me tell you
meltdown.
something. Independents disapprove of the Democrats' handling of the Brett Kavanaugh nomination by 28 points.
Yeah, it's an opportunity for Republicans.
It is a huge opportunity. Let's play, if we can. Trump says Kavanaugh is proven innocent.
I would like to begin tonight's proceeding differently than perhaps any other event of such magnitude. On behalf of our nation, I want to apologize to Brett and the entire Kavanaugh family for the terrible pain and suffering you have been forced to endure. Those who step forward to serve our country deserve a fair and dignified evaluation, not a campaign of political and personal destruction based on lies and deception. What happened to the Kavanaugh family violates every notion of fairness, decency, and due process. Our country, a man or a woman, must always be presumed innocent unless and until proven guilty.
You know what I call that? I call that leadership. You know what Donald Trump does? He actually says what people should say, the actual appropriate thing. The media doesn't like it because they have it upside down. What they consider to be appropriate is inappropriate. And what we know as real Americans, God-fearing Americans, patriotic Americans, we know what is appropriate. And that goes for President Donald Trump. He says the appropriate thing in the moment, and it drives the godless flag-burning Democrats like Dick Durbin crazy. And guess what? We're gonna call for a federal investigation into Senator Dick Durbin. And when we come back, we're gonna lay the case out. Dick Durbin exposed on the Citizen Kelly Show when we return.